everybody, John here. Well, good to see you. We brought back One Man's Opinion back to the streets of Hamtramck, Michigan. Last week we did a video about the firefighters' plight here in the city. And boy, I'm telling you, the more that you get into the story, we had to come back for a second video because you won't believe some of the stuff that goes on here. Here at the City Hall on Tuesday, we went to a city council meeting, although they were a half hour late, and one of the city council guys, I guess nobody knew where he was. I mean, how do you not know where your council is? A lot of people went up and spoke about the firefighters, and they were very passionate about that. They want to have your firefighters here. And even I went up and talked to the council, and I'm telling you, One Man's Opinion, when I was talking to the council, I must have been reading them the NBA rule book, because that's how enthused they were about the firefighters. You get the feeling, I get the feeling, One Man's Opinion, that this feels like it's a done deal. It's a railroad job going big time. Now, this can't be the new Magnificent Seven, even though they do have one of the members there already. However, folks, is there some way, somehow possible, that we can figure out how we can keep the firefighters here some way? I know that one of the folks on council, I do believe, is the city manager in print, just saying, or no, not the city manager, I take that back, it was one of the city council people, that said, well, they're locked into union contracts. Well, yeah, everyone, the big elephant in the room is union contract, union contract. It's always about the firefighters, okay? And guess what? The firefighters have been ready to open up their contract, which, by the way, does not end until 2014, so they're under no obligation to reopen it. But they want to because that's how much they are in the city. Now, I haven't heard anybody else's in the one meeting I was in. They didn't talk about fire or about police people opening up theirs or any other department opening up theirs. So I'm wondering, when I leave the place, why are they always talking about the firefighters? It was kind of funny though. When I left, everybody goes, "Hey, did you get it? Did you get it?" It's like, get what? It's like, did you see what was going up there? Get what? It's like, did you hear that doot 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 noise when these guys are talking? I will say though, I'm a little prejudiced. That Kathy woman on the other side of that, of the city council people, firecracker. Here's probably something that you didn't know. That the firefighters here, most of them have a couple different specialties to them. One thing we'd like to know is, in this, it's a sturdy but older fire hall, when was the last time the city put in, say, a furnace in here? Or maybe they had a plumber come by or an electrician come by and help fix the stuff up? Or maybe when was the last time they gave these guys chairs? Maybe they're worn out, you know, they do, you know, need them. Or tables or anything. When did the city do any of that? Can somebody point me to that? Only because, from my understanding, is that some of the gentlemen in here, we have an EMT guy who's an electrician. The folks, they do their own plumbing in here, the firefighters do. The furnace that was put into this big building was paid by the union and not by the city. So how much has the city actually put money into this fire hall? Without these gentlemen, without your firefighters taking it upon themselves to do the work. Let's find out, okay? And then while we're also finding out, a little bit of transparency here if you could, please. I mean, I've been looking around the internet all over the place, and I'm sure perhaps somebody out there can point me in the right direction. But how much do people make as elected officials? Private person, don't care. But if you're elected, or you're getting paid by tax dollars by, you know, the citizens here, how much? Because everybody wants to kick the firefighters' keister, that they make about $81,000 or whatever. All right, let's take a look at it. Give me a breakdown. What is the base salary, and how much money that they've made in overtime because they're understaffed? I'll give you one big huge duh on that. Duh. You know, let's see how many hours. Don't even give me a base salary then. I'll even make it easier on you folks. Just tell me how many hours in overtime these firefighters had to go because of the understaffed and because of the cuts. Okay, we'll go from that part. And while we're there, and again, let's find out how much people make in City Hall. All right, I don't see anywhere that it's posted, you know, and you would think that that would be pretty easy information to get. Let's find out. I think it's pretty unique of this city of Hamtramck. There's no other city that you probably have driven around and ever saw that have to have signs that support their firefighters. Now, who do you think is more popular in this city? Firefighters or people in City Hall? You know, remember, a firefighter can run City Hall. City Hall people cannot put out fires. In keeping with one man's opinion, can somebody point me in the direction of where they actually done a study that says that the Highland Park Fire Department is more qualified, has better equipment, has better training than the Hamtramck firefighters, Sugar Bear? I mean, what we need to find out here is, if we're going to give up response time, we better make sure that we have the same amount of expertise. There's a fashionable buzzword going around: cross-training, 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 cross-training. We'll cross-train our police people to be fire people and our fire people to become police people. Now, allow me to tell you this. How many cops do you know that want to run into a burning building? Subsequently, how many fire people do you know want to carry a gun? They don't. In one man's opinion, City Council, let me help you out a little bit. Again, one man's opinion. The reason why everyone's saying that we can't keep your firefighters is because you can't afford them. You can't afford them because you don't have the tax base. You don't have the tax base because, look around. Take a look at Campo itself. How many for sale signs you have there? What's the vision for the city? Maybe I'm missing it and perhaps somebody can point me to it. Okay, but you got a lot of empty store faces. You got nothing going in there. Now, if you're going to tell everybody you don't have a fire department, or it's going to be coming from Highland Park or from Detroit, all right, if I'm a guy that wants to put a lot of money into opening a business down here, etc., my business goes up, but how are you going to entice me to come in, even before that? How are you going to entice me and say, okay, so what's your public safety like? Well, we got a police department, okay. We got a really great treasurer, okay. What about your fire response team in case there's a fire in my shop and all my stock goes up? Well, we're standing here on Trowbridge, and behind me you can see there's a burned out house. Now, what we can tell that your firefighters did their job. Now we're seeing the city hasn't done theirs yet. When is that going to happen? I really do wish that somebody could show me apples to apples in writing, just not verbiage, because I notice a lot of verbiage comes out of City Hall about the firefighters. Can you tell me the difference, the absolute difference in real life between the EMTs here and the EMTs at DMC? Now, from I understand, that's a whole lot of, well, it's an upgrade, it's an upgrade. Really? Tell me how. Why? Show me proof. Okay, folks? From I understand, it's a difference. They have the same training, but it's a different license. Did the city not want to pay for the higher license? And a lot of stuff from the city goes, look at the firefighters, boy, we hate the firefighters, we hate the firefighters. But yet over here, what's going on? FBI guys coming through your place? How come? Should we find out first how much money's coming out of City Hall that shouldn't have been, so maybe we could pay for some firefighters? One man's opinion. Another one man's opinion, won't you please talk to your firefighters? They are one of the most passionate groups that I have ever seen. Yes, they are your charity base. Yes, they are your backbone. They've been around here for 100 years. You know what's really interesting about them, about the firefighters? Again, one man's opinion that I see. They are extremely passionate about this place. They're extremely proud to be a Hamtramck firefighter. This is something, a badge of honor for them, and I don't blame them. You know, they're in the community, they eat with you, they drink with you, they're around here. This isn't just some kind of 24 hours on, 24 hours, get the hell out of here, 24 hours on kind of thing. They actually positively love this city. If they didn't, they wouldn't be giving you concession after concession after concession. And again, in one man's opinion, what other department gave you those many concessions, coupled with the fact that they got a contract that's not even ready to be opened in 2014, yet they are willing to come in and open it up for you. It's an interesting situation. And I hope it really does get resolved, because this city, your five-year plan, how are you going to attract me? Are you going to get families down here? You're going to get businesses down here? What are you going to do to attract people down here so you can bring your tax base up? And you're not going to do it without any firefighters from this city. That's one man's opinion. Next week, we're going to be in Rochester. We'll see you then.